What's going on, you guys? Riley here. Just wanted to quickly cover the day trading 101 tools that we talked about in our previous seminar and how you could apply those today and been short the entire flush today. So I hope you guys do enjoy it, and let's just dive into it. So for starters, remember every single day, we're going to start from our 8 a.m. candle onwards. We're measuring basically where the computers turn on, where the computers are saying, hey, here's the liquidity that you guys need. So we make a retracement right at pre-market, and notice this bounce. This bounce sucks. We don't like this bounce. This bounce is the ugly guy that you're flaming because he's ugly. Don't do that. But continuing this, so we're going to measure this to the upside. So we plot these three levels, and I'm going to turn on the trend line so you guys can read how this played out and what we used to measure it. And notice how that bounce was weak and we reject, golden continuation, and the volume out the gate fades. So you could have been short off of that pivot already, knowing that that resistance and nor this 16.8 cluster was going to be deep resistance right at the gate. But let's continue. How else could we have known that that was going to reject? Well, you have a divergence here forming right out the open. So understanding that, looking at your indicators, you see price is failing, you're getting upper wicks, volume slows down, you then see price knife really fast. So we're going to do what any man does. We're going to measure this to the downside. So we're going to take that low and we're going to take that high. And what do we notice? Well, if you know fibs, this bounce sucks. This bounce absolutely sucks. It's awful. We hate it. We don't want to long it. No, bulls get squeezed, and we have something called a price divergence, where price continues to squeeze up to momentum, yet go higher on volume that is below average. But notice that once you see this volume shift here, it's similar to sizing of this bear volume. And then bears fail to step in with a large size in comparison to that volume to therefore have a trend shift. So we continued higher and higher and higher. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to measure this to the upside again. So we're going to grab this low, that high, and that low. Again, if you understand fibs, it's a 786 bounce here off this low. It's a dead cat bounce. But price goes parabolic into a golden zone on a fib set. You get a lower high in your oscillator here. Price comes down. So it chops along this golden zone, or we can measure it to the downside again, which we will, to even show you continuously how you could have been within this trade. But regardless, we dance, we dance, we dance. We come up and we make a double top off this golden zone, and price rejects. But notice, and let's talk about volume shifting. Notice what happens here. You have price flush below this golden zone, and for the first time, you have volume shift for bears. And you don't see competing bull price action. From this point on, this size of volume right here is never reached, ever. And so what happens to price? It fails. But we can continue regardless, and we can also look at our oscillator again with a very, very, very clear divergence. Ever since we had these sellers start stepping in, you can see the sellers start picking up, picking up, picking up. Oscillators fail, but price is also failing. So again, we're going to measure this to the downside now from this low to this high. Because note that this rejected over and over again. So look what happens once we flush through this pivot. Look what happens once we lose this bullish momentum from our plan in the morning. We just immediately drill. And you could have also noted this based on the 15-minute as well. Because if we look, and I know it's a little weird because of the 1-minute divergences, so ignore these random trend lines, but you notice that your oscillator never picks up in momentum to continue. And on top of that, we had a bearish catalyst. We have a CPI report tomorrow morning. And so going into this, you see an anticipatory flush, also due to the fact that momentum sucked. You had the catalyst for it. And if you even need more bias, we can draw a trend line here. And notice that over and over and over, bulls failed. And then they made a lower high, they failed to get out of the range, then they made another lower high, and then they finally died. And you can see as well within the close of the triangle what happens to momentum. As soon as we get under it, once the triangle's formation's over, it's done. The price completely starts flushing. And regardless, we took shorts up here. You could have been short up here. You could have been short here. You could have been short here. You need a very, very solid risk reward trade that all you would have gotten out of is if this golden zone broke and this momentum broke, which mathematically it couldn't, and or a double top. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope to help out a little bit, and I hope you guys are safe during tomorrow's CPI report. No, I'm not swinging anything besides Roblox shorts to the downside, and we have a long dated expiration on that. So I'll see you guys tomorrow on voice chat, and I hope this video helped.